First of all, if you don't mind, tell us about this EV Freedom Act that you are proposing, and also, welcome to the program. I'm wondering if there's anything else on your mind that you want to share with our listeners before we start picking up phone calls for you.
Oh, wow. Well, it's good to see you, Tom, and I'm happy to talk about the EV Freedom Act. I mean, look, we've got to tackle climate change. So the comprehensiveness, the speed, the boldness we need is incredible. It's exciting. And the EV Freedom Act is one part of it. It deals with high-speed electric vehicle charging stations. The president said we need to deploy 500,000 chargers, but where? How? What's the federal role? And the answer is there's two big needs that the market won't meet. Number one, think of all the people who live in places where they're not in some suburbia with a garage where they can just pull in and charge, apartment buildings and so forth. The other big thing is we need to be able to charge throughout the national highway system, because this is America. You got to be able to take your kid to Podunk U and drop them off, or you got to go visit grandma in Omaha, Nebraska. And so we need to crush range anxiety and make it possible for everybody to buy an electric vehicle by putting them all throughout the national highway system. It gives the Secretary of Transportation, my buddy and former boss, Jennifer Granholm, when we worked in the state of Michigan together, 1 year to come up with a plan, a second year to come up with financing, and within 5 years, we would have a national network in place in all 50 states and Puerto Rico so that you could get in an EV like my Chevy Bolt and drive from any point in the U.S. to any other without worrying about running out of juice. That's what we need to transform this sector. And then we need to do it in every other sector. My lead co-sponsor of this is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. We introduced it last Congress. We reintroduced it this Congress. It's endorsed by unions, environmental groups. I even got some of the auto companies and utilities on now. And so, we're really trying to bring the change fast. And stay tuned later in the year. I'll have a bill on buildings, the built environment. What do we do to retrofit existing building stock? How do we move towards zero net energy or better buildings when we build new ones? So that's some of the legislation I'm working on that front.
That is absolutely spectacular. Is this something that might pass the House as a standalone bill and then be incorporated into President Biden's infrastructure bill, as a larger piece of legislation? And if that doesn't happen, it still passes as a smaller piece? Is that the strategy here?
The strategy really is to get it into the infrastructure plan, and it may well be part of what we push through a reconciliation package.
That's great.
So the point is to get it done. Secretary Granholm's told me that NREL, the National Renewable Energy Labs, have already mapped out or are hard at work mapping out, how many chargers we need where, so that you would, you could have a comprehensive network. And when you think about it, Tom, people are they think, jobs and business is sort of at loggerheads with the environment and climate, what we need for climate change, and it's so wrong. Just imagine if we determine that at a big interchange of the expressways, we need 20 chargers. I bet if you own a Hilton Garden Inn and I own a like a Marriott, Courtyard by Marriott, I wouldn't want the chargers to be at your place, because then everybody would stay at your place. So
right, it becomes a competitive advantage.
Right, and with malls, restaurants, hotels, the whole retail industry. Yeah. So, and this plays out in area after area. So